Joe's in the house already. Welcome to Cooperville Live. Happy Tuesday to all of you surviving in this crazy world today. Good to see you back on here. Oh, big show today. Every show is a big show. Every show I'm just grateful to be here with you and my guests, enjoying the comforts of the First Amendment, which is the right to free speech and the pursuit of happiness. Eat, chorus, booming, all that shit. That's why we're here, man. It's the free speech revolution. Get on board. All sorts of cool stuff coming up today. Wherever you are watching, thank you. Bless you for watching wherever you're watching. Facebook Live on the Cooperville Live page. YouTube. Got that vanity now. We're all vain and shit. YouTube.com/Cooperville Live. We got that since we reached 100 subs. That's cool. And twitch.tv/No Limit Cooper. That's me. It's always backwards. Right there. Wrong hand. But thank you. Wherever you're watching, make sure you subscribe. Making things awesome. Speaking of subscribing, please join our Patreon. It helps keep the show going, helps keep the show growing. It helps us do even cooler things than we're already doing. We're going to be doing some giveaways very soon. We have the exclusive launch of Cooperville clothing coming very soon. And the first to get access will be our patrons. So please join. Plans starting as low as $10 a month. We just posted some cool stuff about tomorrow's guests. Tomorrow's guest is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy good. Great guest today. Great guest tomorrow. Great guests all the time. But you and your support, that's what helps keep the show going. The link to the Patreon is in the comment sections of wherever you are watching. Whichever platform, doesn't matter. So link up and join our Patreon today, and we appreciate it in advance. We got a big show coming up today. Founder of the band Godhead, solo artist, voiceover star, Twitch partner, gamer, all the good stuff. Jason Charles Miller is going to be on the show in just a couple of minutes. Excited to talk to him. Dude's got beard game for days. We'll talk beards and music and such. Jason Charles Miller coming up in just a bit. Stand by for that. Later on this hour, Piedmont, Alabama's pride and joy, Austin Bishop is going to be on the show today. He just got done playing a big show over the weekend. Creek Fest down in Talladega. He was playing down there. Joe's chiming in. Joe's checking out the music, man. Yeah, they're both awesome. We got some outlaw country. We got some traditional country. We're countrying it up today on Cooperville Live. So very cool stuff. Jason Charles Miller at 5:10, and then Austin Bishop coming up at about 10:06 Central Time. So depending on what time zone you're watching in, plan your life accordingly for the next hour and a half or so. Another crazy windy ass day here in the state of Wisconsin. Just odd. It happens every spring, but you get these days when if it wasn't windy, it'd be ideal. And you'd probably take off of work and do some day drinking. So you're probably like, all right, well, it's good that the wind is out here and keeping me from being less ambitious. But it's another windy ass day. We got this cold front thing coming through. We got like cold temps next couple of days, and the weekend's supposed to be nice. It's Easter weekend this weekend, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah. Easter. Happy Easter to those of you who do the Easter thing with the bunnies, which reminds me, I have to get an Easter basket for I got to contact the Easter bunny so that he knows to bring an Easter basket for my son. Easter bass. This is like real-time stuff here, people. I'm writing this stuff down. Okay, cool. See, I copious notes for my guests. I got notes for myself. My life is basically like post-it notes and note cards. It really is. If I didn't have those, I really feel like I should join the technology age and really set up a calendar on my phone, which I've started to do. If you're watching the show on Friday, I'd gotten my copy of Sean Whalen's new book called, not new book, it's several years old, but his book, How to Get Shit Done. And that's one of the things he talks about in there. He talks about core 4, the 4 things you really need to focus on throughout the course of your day. And if you kind of follow those 4 guidelines, it leads to, success in many areas and better relationships and, better health, better body, all that stuff. So one of the things is to really set up your calendar so that there's never any misnomers about what you're supposed to be doing throughout the course of your day. So it's like, hey, alarm is set at 5:30 and make coffee. And I don't know if you can get that detailed, but note time that you would have to make yourself a cup of coffee. How long does that take? Well, if you use the French press like I do, it takes a little bit longer. Cup of coffee, take my supplements in the morning, then I meditate, then I usually go running or throw some weights around and try to get my workout in before the day starts, and then work stuff, and then things to work on before the show, and scheduling in like really important things. Like, don't forget to call the Easter Bunny so that there's an Easter basket here on Easter morning for the child who would be devastated if there wasn't. Very great book, though. I'm probably a quarter of the way through it. It was a busy weekend, so I didn't get a chance to really dive in as much as I wanted to. But I've been reading it at night and taking some notes on it. And that was one of the things in there. It's like, really look at your day and how it's structured and how much time are you wasting, and trying to eliminate the wasted time, like scrolling through social media or anything like that. But I don't know. I have to add tomorrow, get just in case he's watching, I have to call the Easter Bunny and make sure that he drops off an Easter basket, since my child will be here this weekend. So just little things, little things in life. Baseball season opens up Thursday, April 1st. So that's big. We had Bill Michaels on the show yesterday. Thank you to the big unit for being a part of the program. That was great. It was odd. If you watch the show, I know, Joe, I know you were on here yesterday. It was weird because I was like, I guess maybe he forgot, or the fact that he, works for the company I used to work for. Maybe they said, don't do it. And then boop, as soon as I was done talking shit, not about Bill directly, but just about, he's like, I'm so sorry I'm late, but he was on. It was a great conversation. If you missed it, the video is posted on the YouTube page. It's posted on the Facebook page and on Twitch. I can go and check out Bill Michaels from yesterday. To talk about baseball opening up. And even if you're not like a huge baseball fan, Joe, I know you're a big Brewers fan. I can see that by your graphic on your YouTube page. But to not have that last year, I mean, this probably affects us up here in the Midwest a little bit more, because we go through like shit weather for a very long period of time. It's cold, it's snowy, then you get little dabs of nice weather. You're like, hallelujah. And then all of a sudden it sucks again. But like opening day of baseball, that's like, yeah, spring and grilling out and weekends on the lake and all the fun stuff. So to not have that in 2020, because obviously of the COVID, it's nice to see that that baseball's back. And it was and nice to see that Texas Rangers doing it in full force, man. They had gates are open. They had a full. I think they had is there one more? I think there's one last game tonight, and then an off day tomorrow for the Brewers. But they're playing the Texas Rangers in Texas, and their ballpark's at full capacity. It's the coolest thing ever. It reminds me of the old days, like 2019. Oh, it was good times when you saw people out doing things like going to baseball games. So it's nice to see. I don't know if they're keeping that I think they have a cap the rest of the season, but like the last two exhibition games and then the first game of the season at Texas Ranger Stadium, I can't remember what it's called, but they were doing full capacity. So that's cool. Everybody watching Texas. See what's going to happen in Texas. It's going to be just fine. That's what's going to happen. Just so you know. Even though the headlines, you read the headlines, it's all doom and gloom, man. The end is coming. Another wave is coming. What did I read? I think I still have this headline pulled up, so let me see if I can get it pulled up here. But it was what is it? Something about we're standing on the knife. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I got deleted. Maybe I deleted that one. Oh, here it is. From USA Today, the headline is, "We're skating on a knife's edge right now. Scientists worry U.S. could be headed for yet another COVID-19 outbreak." Okay. Okay. Selling you fear, people. They're selling you fear. Not another one. No, please, no. Joe loves listening to the games on the radio. Yeah, man. The Uke, Bob Uecker. It's always, if Bob is, I love Bob Uecker. Like watching him and the Brewers have gone to the postseason, and him in the locker room with the fellas, getting beers poured all over him. I mean, that's just epic stuff. Bob Uecker, for those of you who don't know, is the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers radio call. He's so fun to listen to because he's always talking about like his playing days and how bad of a player he was, but he puts it in such nice context. Sometimes you kind of feel him like rattling off. Sorry. 3 strikes. It just kind of gets a little. He's just in it, you know. I mean, the man was Harry Doyle. In Major League. So give him some slack. But no, great to hear the sounds of baseball coming back. I think Miller Park is not. It's not Miller Park. American Family Field is doing 30% capacity, but no tailgating. Come inside and sit down next to people, but don't be outside next to them. That makes 0 sense. Wait, so I brought these people with me. I'm going to go sit down next to them inside. Now, I guess if the roof's open, it's outside, but it won't be open on opening day. It's going to be like 40. But I can't be with them outside, having brought home. It's the weird about the rules, man. It's the weird thing about the rules is you're like, wait, what? This doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. It's wild though, but it's good to see baseball coming back. It'll always be Miller Park. I agree. But you know, if American families pumping more money into it, get some quality talent. They made some big moves during the offseason. Colton Wong and Bradley Jr. coming in. Pitching looks great. See what Travis Shaw does third base. Be interesting. But I'm just excited. I'm just excited for baseball to be back and that feeling of spring in the air and a lot of things coming back. Concerts, festivals coming back. Obviously, I work for 2 big music festivals and we're all ahead full, man. Full steam ahead. And it's kind of strange, you know, because even like Jason Charles Miller, he's out in LA, who'll be on in just a bit. Like, it's so weird out there because they can't do anything yet. And here we're like, yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to have some things happen. Other places though, they're just like, still locked down. I'm like, just get the fuck out of the state. And there's some bands are doing that. Some bands are just getting out, doing shows, traveling. Boys and Otherwise are going to be up here in a couple weeks, doing the Tigers Blood Run. That'll be fun. So my other buddy Nixon, Birmingham Hanley, going to be up here in the area in the next couple of weeks too. So you got some traction, you got some shows that are coming up. So hopefully, as other places wise up and get their shit together, you know, you have some shows to go to, you got some games to go to. It's weird though, because up here there's high school football happening during the spring, which is just odd because obviously football, I played for 4 years in my youth in high school, and there's always Friday Night Lights, man, in the fall, 2-a-days in the summer, all that shit. Fades in the house. Whoop whoop. That's my boy right there. That's my dude. Dude, check out those jams, man. I'm gonna pop one of these up. I'm pulling these up. I need to get a Stream Deck. I could just hit a button and I wouldn't have to go through all this malarkey on the damn tablet here. Of course, this is probably gonna want to download, and that's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, here we go. Look at that. We got some jams on here. We got some beat beds. Like that. That's that Ready Wave, son. That's Blake and Joey doing the thing. Streamers beware, man. Royalty-free, high-quality music for your streams. Bound, chicka bound, bound. Like that? Fade likes that. No, he does. But no, it's cool. But the football thing is weird, though. Like spring football, it seems. But at least the kids are getting a chance to play. That's what's most important. Looking for their D1 scholarships. Maybe. Yes, sir. Montage. Bust that shit out. What Doesn't Kill You? That's the name of the track. Yeah. Beats for days. Beats for days. And royalty free. So if you stream, you don't got to worry about the bots shutting you down, which is always a positive thing. But cool stuff. Big week. Big week of baseball starting. You got spring football happening. You got the Final Four. Well, I think there's 6 now, right? 6 teams left. If you're into the hoops NCAA tournament action, I'm taking the Zags, man. Not because I watch or because I have a horse in the game, but just because from what I've heard on Sports Talk Radio, what I heard from Bill Michaels, I'm gonna go Gonzaga. Gonzaga to win it all. Maybe USC in an upset. I don't know. Again, just make sure that Jason Charles Miller is getting connected here. We got him coming up on the show. Austin Bishop later on today. And again, hit that Patreon up. We got some cool stuff coming up. That Cooperville clothing line is, oh man, looking good. We're launching some shirts. We got guys shirts. We got ladies tanks. It's going to be pretty badass. So if you remember the Patreon, if you support the show, which I appreciate as always, the link is in all of the comments of all the pages that we're streaming on right now. Jump on. That'd be awesome. Exclusive content. We let you know who's going to be on the show before we, put it up on our socials. Do all the things. Do little videos. Did a couple of videos before today's show. They're called lenses. I think lenses is what they're called on Patreon. So join up and subscribe across all the boards here. So Fade, I hope you like that, man. That's one of many examples of the cool shit they got going on with Ready Waves. So keep on keeping on. Lots of stuff going on in the world. This was a big story that I remember talking about this several weeks ago. Joe, you could probably remember because I remember you chiming in on this, but they were talking about that Excelsior Pass in New York, which was basically the vaccine passport. Have you heard about this? This is coming down the pike. It's already a thing in New York. So basically it's an app that has access to your vaccination records. And if you want to go to Madison Square Garden or you want to go to, right now, I think it's only large venues. I think just from what I've read and what I've heard, I was listening to the Tim Pool podcast today he was talking about it from yesterday. So you have an app and like you open it and there's a QR code and the person at the gate of Madison Square Garden checks it, beep, and you get like a green arrow and you can go in. And if you get a red X, then you're not allowed because you have not been vaccinated yet. So New York is implementing this thing. Now there's talk that the Biden administration is looking at making this like a national thing and working with like major retailers to implement this at places like Walmart, Target, Home Depot. So you'd have to have this app to be able to get in. Now, outside of how infringing on your personal civil liberties that is, we're going to throw all the trust in the government to keep your medical records safe. Like we feel pretty good about that in places like, wasn't there like 5-6 years ago, like a giant Target breach of data? Like we're all of a sudden pretty trusting. Like, yeah, this seems like a good idea. I think we should really give them all the access to all the information. It's a QR code. There's no way anybody could hack that. Really? There's no way? They have there's a convention in Vegas that they bring all of these basically major hackers in, and companies will come in with their software and they will attempt to have people hack into their system. And there was a story from a couple of years ago where a 12-year-old girl from Florida who's a hacker. It's an interesting hobby. I'm sure she has a bright career ahead of her. But she hacked into, I believe it was a voting system in like 8 minutes. She's like, yeah, I'm in. She's 12. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that. Trying to gain control. I'm going to save us all. This is the Free Speech Network. We're starting the revolution. We're getting the militia together. That's what we're doing. But just think about that. Like, we have become so fearful that we're I guess trading our theoretical safety for our freedom. What that leads to is basically if you choose not to get vaccinated, that you wouldn't be able to enter places that required you to have the vaccine passport. So you can come in because you've had this medical procedure done. You can't come in, and seemingly people are okay with that. I'm not sure when they took civics out of it, like public education, but I remember going to civics class. I remember that. I remember studying the Constitution, Bill of Rights, the whole thing. Remember all that. A lot of shit I don't remember. There's some sketchy details, right? But like to not feel like that is some sort of violation of your civil liberties that's kind of spooky, right? Like, you're like, yeah, sure, this seems like a good idea. Even if you're like, yeah, I'll get the vaccine, whatever. Even if you're for it, even if you got it, even if you got both of them. So just one end of that is the violation of your civil liberties, HIPAA laws, all that stuff, whatever. It's fine. Sure. If you're cool with that, good for you. But the fact that you don't think that all of that information on a giant database, because it has to be uniform. It can't be like, hey, New York has one, Wisconsin has one, Florida has a different one. It's all different. It has to obviously be one giant cohesive database of every single person that lives here in the United States, with all of your medical information, just to make sure that you check out so that you can go and, buy food at a grocery store. All of that data just sitting on a server somewhere, protected by our most intelligent employed people. Meanwhile, the ones that are sitting at home, the 12-year-old hacker who's now 15 now, she probably better, is going, I mean, we just didn't see this coming. You know why they put blinders on horses, right? so they don't see what's happening here and there. They just look straight ahead. Just look straight ahead. You don't have peripheral vision anymore. Okay? We're taking that peripheral vision away. Not that we're racehorses, but you're not wrong, Joe. You're not wrong, Joe. It's wild, though. It's wild, sure. Like, we're so, not we. I'll not say we. Some. The loud majority, I'm not even sure anymore. They're so okay with just things being taken away. Like, yeah, it's fine. Just take that away. Yeah, it's fine. I'll conform and do this. Yeah, sure. Why not? I would love to do this. This seems like a great idea. We're all of a sudden very trusting. Yeah. This is for the greater good. Absolutely. Yeah. doing your research on that? Well, no, I was told by the guy on TV that was good. This was going to happen. And I'm like totally cool with it. It's not, there's no Walter Cronkite anymore, people. There's not. There's the one guy telling you all the things and all the facts that no longer exists. That is not what you hear from the guy on TV or your medical friend on Facebook. Well, my friend is a nurse and she knows. Okay. My friends work for Pfizer and they're like, don't. Just can't even say that. They got to like SOS it with their blinks, like, like, oh, okay. C-Dub is back in the house, all the way from Malaysia. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Dave knows. Joe knows. It's wild. And they're talking about this to travel as well. Now, here's the fine line. Here's the weird caveat. Like if you go to a place, and Tim Pool was talking about this on his podcast the other day. If you go to a place and they have like, you don't want to get yellow fever if you're traveling to like Indonesia, right? Like that sounds like it's horrible. So you get the vaccination for yellow fever if you're going to travel somewhere where you could catch it. Okay. But now it'd be to travel anywhere, get on an airplane, go somewhere to visit your mom in Northern California, you know? My mom, Northern California. See, in Malaysia, got to have that yellow fever shot. See? Dropping truth bombs on you. But you'd have to have the passport to get on an airplane. To go anywhere. So now we're saying you can't, if you don't have it, don't have the app, you can't go to certain stores. Okay. For now, it's just it will just the plan is for certain major retailers at first. So you can't go in there. Can't get on an airplane. What about a concert? Can you go to a concert? Okay. So it makes you wonder, like, at what percentage is the system screwed? You know, like if 40% of people are like, fuck this noise, then you're like, yeah, this was a bad idea. Nobody needs to have it anymore. Or does it even matter? It's classism. Is that it? And there's a lot of just people that are cool with it. Like, yeah, sounds like a really good idea. I really think we should all have an app that, you know, lets us go into places and keeps other people out. Seems like a good idea. And maybe if it expands beyond like vaccines, maybe it's something else. Like maybe it's people that don't recycle, or people that like cats. They can't go into places either. Well, that's a pretty simple. That's just an update to the app. That's some scary shit, right? Like it starts here, which is scary enough, and then it gets to a place where you're like, wait a minute. So now we're telling people that they can't do things because of social class, because of, you know where they have that? Do you know where they have that system set up already in place? Does anybody know? Anybody? China. That's where. They already have that. They already have that set up in China. Yeah, it's like your social credit score. Yeah. It's fine. Like this seems like a totally good idea. But does it really seem like a good idea? I don't. Yeah, boy. There's no antidote for dengue. Dengue? Is it dengue fever? C-dubs? Well, that sounds horrible. I don't want that. So I guess taking the show to Malaysia, we're gonna have to keep it like this. We're gonna have to keep it on the stream. I got that Wisconsin blood though, man. Perfectly thinned out. Safe from everything. But there's so many like really scary things about this proposal. Again, already being implemented in New York. It's already fully implemented in China. And now we got a plan. Yeah, we're building the app and everybody's going to get it. Okay, well, there are people, believe it or not, that don't have smartphones. How would we get the app? Well, those people then can get paper they can get paper passes to go into places. Okay. Where do they get those? Can you get that online? Or do you have to go to a doc? Now, if you have to go to your doctor and get it, and then does that appointment? Do you have to have insurance then to get that appointment, to get that piece of paper? Oh well, then people that can't afford health insurance can't go shop for groceries, right? Well, there's a way. Okay, good. Yeah, you keep working on that then. God, it's a scary place to be. It's a scary thing to think about. Everybody's all worried. Well, they're tracking my phone, and everybody's worried about their privacy. Like we've given up on that. Apparently, like we don't care. Well, I don't give a fuck. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, track me. Let me know what I'm telling my robots. Your phone's listening to you. But now we're just like, I don't care. Fine, just not only take all my personal information, take my medical information too. Make sure you have all that on there. So when I go to a baseball game, it'll be secure. Is that right? There's a reason when you hear like a commercial for LifeLock, which is supposed to protect all of your identity, there's a reason that they put a clause in there that says, if you do end up getting your identity stolen, we will pay up to $100,000, whatever the arbitrary number is, to help fight it. Because even a place that is designed to protect your information knows that eventually somebody could get access to it. And that's on that's individual, group by group by group. Now you're talking about an entire database of everybody in the United States and then probably in the world, because if you international travel, you're going to have the same cohesive way of sharing that information with somebody when you get to, I don't know, you want to go to Ireland for St. Patrick's Day next year. Actually, the Irish would be like, whatever. Come on in, laddie. It's fine. We don't even have the COVID here. We got room temperature Guinness and plenty of Jameson. So if you think of it on a global scale, now you have everybody on the planet, which is odd because underdeveloped countries, even in the state. Now, what about the Amish and the Mennonites? Do they get to the paper one? Is that like, how do we don't know yet. Okay, cool. We're just tossing out blatantly law breaking, constitutional erupting ideas into the universe just to see what happens. Well, it's for the betterment. It's for the safety and the good of the people. It's not. And if you think that it is, you should read. You should do some research. You should stop getting information from the same television show every day. Stop getting it from social media. Read a medical journal or something. Like find some shit out. Me, I call up Dr. J and I'm like, dude, is this legit? Nope, done the research on that. It's bullshit. All right, cool. Thank you. That's what I need to know. Vaccine passport. Sean Whalen had a great post. He put it up the other day. His vaccine passport was him standing in front of a sweet car with a gun in his hand. He's like, here's my vaccine passport. It might come down to that. Because now if we were all like a country united, we were like, oh, hey, we're all getting along. We're all buddies. We're all good. Even at that, it's a giant infringement on your human rights. But we're not. It's fairly divided times here, people, especially in the States. I know we got Malaysia in the house. But now you're going to divide even further. Perhaps, just an idea and an opinion, because apparently I have to preface things by saying this is not fact, this is an opinion. Perhaps that's the goal, is to further divide, not unite. Seems the party of unity is the party of division. If you look at it from, I don't know, factual-based, research. I know. It's strange, right? Strange. I'm not sure if I think maybe Jason Charles Miller thought it was 5:10 p.m. his time, and he's out in LA, so he's going to be trying to jump on the show way after it's over with. So we'll probably have to reschedule with him. But I said Central Time, right? Yeah, in the email. Yeah, I said Central Time. So who knows? But we do have Austin Bishop coming up here in just a bit. Piedmont, Alabama, country artist. He'll be on in about 13 minutes, so stand by for that. Lots more to come. We'll take a short break. I'll let you soak in some of that information, maybe do some research and come back with your comments and your questions in just a bit. But we'll take 5 and be back in a bit. And we're back on Cooperville Live. Thank you for hanging out wherever you're watching. Appreciate you and your comments. Always welcome in the comment sections on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And wherever you're watching, make sure you're following and subscribing and being a part of all the action as we do this every single day. Weekday, Monday through Friday, starting at 5 p.m. Central Time. Again, just shot an email over to Jason Charles Miller. Like I said, he's not in LA, so I think he probably thought 5:10 his time, which is going to be much later than the show actually runs. So we'll get him back on. So if you're here to check him out, I'm sure we'll get him back on sometime very soon. But hang out for Austin Bishop. He's going to be on the program coming up in under 10 minutes. So hang around and stick out for that. No, I don't watch. I don't even think we have any currently have any live TV app or anything like that. Like we used to have Hulu. We kind of dropped it, never watched it. YouTube Live, none of that stuff. So I didn't really see this. It does exist, obviously, on the interwebs where everything lives now. But on Jimmy Fallon, which even if I had, Jimmy's all right. He's got funny moments. But Jimmy Fallon apparently had a TikTok star on the show last week sometime. Addison Rae Easterling, a famous 20-year-old TikToker, does the dancing to the tunes on the TikTok, which resonates, I think, on an app like TikTok, but really was the most awkward video I think I've seen in a long time of somebody dancing in front of a blue screen awkwardly to the Roots playing popular music. It was just weird. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't fit. And there's another reason, and this may shock you. There's a reason that people who are famous are famous. Yeah. And there's a reason when famous people go on shows like Jimmy Fallon that they appear, like, oh, this makes sense. This person is doing this, or they're talking, or they're making people laugh, telling jokes, all this stuff. There's a reason that they're famous. There's no reason, really, that people on TikTok are famous. There's not. There's a lot of famous people that use TikTok as an avenue to grow their brand or to have fun with their fans. Obviously, it's famous people using TikTok, but there's not like TikTokers that there's just a reason that they're famous on TikTok and not like famous in real life, right? Like, and I have a TikTok. I don't use it really. I maybe put up a running video once every year. But like, would you buy tickets to see a TikToker? Like, oh my gosh, Addison Rae Easterling is going to be at the Plaza this weekend. We got to go and see her. Like, I don't think so. I think that there's probably not going to be many ticket sales to go see a famous TikToker at like a live thing, because it's just, in context, it doesn't make any sense. You know, if you're an artist or you're a musician, or you sing or you dance, whatever, like there's a logical reason for you to go and actually pay the money to see that. But if you're just like somebody who dances to other people's music or comedy routine, like it doesn't make sense for you to be on Jimmy Fallon. I'm sure she's an incredibly wonderful human being, but it was just weird. Like, I don't understand what I'm watching. You think the producers of, the Tonight Show would understand that this is not going to look like it looks when it's on TikTok. Now, if you want to show her videos on there, great. But she needs another 4 million followers on TikTok. That will make her day. But to bring her actually live into the studio, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So this is why we should leave being talented to the talented people, and being TikTok famous to leave them on TikTok. I call it a really good balance of really just how life should work. It was just weird. Like, why are we doing this to people? I don't quite understand. But I digress. The reason that we have this show is so that we can talk to people who have superb talent. And I was lucky enough, if you watch the show, I know Joe, you were on here, and a couple of others were on here a couple of weeks ago. We had Warren Garrett on, and we were talking about music and all this other stuff. And then and Angela Gregory got on, and she's from Big Barn, and I was like, hey, and she's like, hey. And so we kind of started jetting back and forth. And so I followed Big Barn on the socials, and all of a sudden I'm perusing, not driving at the same time. I was just perusing. I'm sure I was sitting somewhere safe. And this dude, Austin Bishop, is on here telling some stories, telling about a big show that he had coming up this weekend. And I was like, intrigued. So I went in and checked out some of his music, and I was like, dude, need to get you on the show. And we made it happen. And he is ready to go in the green room. We're going to talk to him right now. It is Piedmont, Alabama's golden child. I got to unmute your mic here, man. And he's going to take him out, and then we'll bring him back in. There we go. How about now? There he is.
Man, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm maybe lagging a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I can. There's a little bit of a lag, but I think I can hear you great now. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I was giving you the warm introduction of Piedmont, Alabama's golden child. Austin Bishop is here. Welcome to the show, man.
Man, all I got was the introduction. So yeah, I'm from Piedmont, Alabama. I was born and raised there. Well, I was actually born in Rome, Georgia, but I was raised by my grandparents there from the time I was about 6 years old, and graduated high school there. Played a little bit of ball in college. Got my special education degree, and so I'm a special ed teacher during the week, and I try to do music on the weekends. So have a lot of fun with that too.
And you started singing at a very young age too. You were like single digits, like 6, I think it was, in the church choir when you first started using that vocal talent that you have.
Man, let me see if I can do some of this. I'm having a hard time. This thing's lagging too bad.
You're all good, man. We'll pop you out, and we'll pop you back in when you're ready to go. It sounds like there's a beach behind him, which is like super cool. He's going to jump out and he's going to jump back in. It happens all the time. That's the magic of live streaming programming. Is the delay is never ideal. But if you haven't had a chance while he's resetting his stuff, if you want to check out Austin Bishop, it's Austin Bishop Music on Facebook, and he's got some tunes on there. He's got a bunch of show dates on there too, if you're looking for a little road trip down to the southeast part of the country. Great stuff. Very talented, up and coming country singer. Like you said, I mean, dude's got a heart of gold. He's a special education teacher during the week, and on the weekends he's out just cranking up great music. And very cool story about him being raised. And we'll get to all that because he's gonna jump back on here in just a few minutes. So while you have a moment, go and follow him on the social medias, wherever you can find him. Austin Bishop Music on all of the things. He needs a beard shaping from a hair wizard. That's you, D Price. That's you. You're the wizard, man. The wizard. That's why this looks so good. We went out, Dustin, since you're here, and we have side. We went out on Saturday. Went out to Cancun and had some tequila and had some tacos, and then ended up over at a little tavern by the house. We walk in, and there's a group of people there playing darts and stuff. And Josh Stipes, who I went to like high school with, was there. We chatted for a little bit, and there was this guy who was like, "Dude, your beard is beautifully shaped. It's just got a great shape. I love it." And then he came over and was like, "All like, hey man." I'm like, "Hey man." He bought us a drink, so it was cool. But I gave you props, man. I'm like, this has its shape because this guy. I do everything. I don't do everything without you. That is not true. I come in and I do lots of stuff, and we talk all sorts of shit when when I come in and get my hair cut and my beard trimmed. See, Austin's back in. We'll see if we got the audio visual figured out here. Can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you great now. Hopefully it sticks around.
Awesome, man. Guy's got a cigar. It sounds like you're by a beach.
Yeah, man. Me and the wife and the in-laws, we come to Gulf Shores this week. It's my spring break, so we're off of school and kicking back and relaxing a little bit.
That's beautiful scenery right there, man.
Oh yeah. It's kind of rough though. You got to be careful though. You know, being redheaded, you got to be careful in the sun.
I know, man. You got the it's like Irish roots in you. You know, we that sun hits us, and we just sometimes we can just implode just like that.
Yeah, my wife kind of gets frustrated because I'm a little bit darker than she is, and she says it's my freckles, but I think I think I actually seem pretty good to be redheaded. So.
I love it, man. I love it. We were talking about your upbringing, and I was talking about you started singing at a very young age. Like I believe you were 5 or 6 years old, starting to sing in the church choir. Was that when you kind of got the that musical itch to kind of like it just resonated with you from such a young age?
No, not really. See, my grandmama, she drugged me into the church choir.
Oh.
So I was always real timid, man. I would sing with grandmama in the car, and I think my granddaddy, he may have heard me sing maybe 3 times his entire life. So I didn't really start singing until college, man. It's a funny story. I started playing guitar because my roommate at the time, he brought some like $60 cheap Walmart guitar into our trailer we were living in. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I was like, man, I always wanted to learn how to play guitar too. I'll learn with you. And so we started playing it for about 2 or 3 months. I took on to it a little bit better than he did. I'm not a good guitar player by any means whatsoever. but I took on to it a little bit faster than he did. And so he went and bought, or his dad bought a $400 guitar. I think it was Alvarez. Mm. And when he would go to, he was on the ball team too. I played football in college. And when he would be, in his workouts or in his class, and I was at home, I would sneak his guitar out and play it. And one night he brought his girl over and was playing it for her, and I told him, I was like, man, let me see that thing for a second. He could tell. He knew right then I've been playing it. And so he started hiding his guitar from me. And so man, I took out $400. Don't tell IRS or anything, but I took out an extra $400 on my student loans and went and bought a guitar at the music store over in Meridian, Mississippi, and started playing it. But my biological dad, I don't know that side of the family that well, but evidently they're very musically talented. From what I've heard, my biological dad can pick up anything and play it in 15 minutes. So that's probably where I get, my ability to play guitar from. Now, my grandmama, she has a voice of an angel, so I love to sing with grandmama. But yeah, I didn't start doing music heavy until college. and that's a pretty funny story too. How I got started doing shows and stuff.
Yeah, how does one, it's crazy. Everybody's, origin story when it comes to, finding a way into music and having it be something that becomes, a permanent part of your life. Obviously, uh, thank you for, the work that you do during the week. And then it's tough to go and then do music on the weekends. I know you had a big show this past weekend with Creek Fest and I know you got a bunch of dates coming up and things like that, but it's always interesting to hear the story of how you get into it, because sometimes you have people that start at a very young age, like, this is what I want to do, this is my passion, I'm going to music, hell or high water, doesn't matter. But for you having that later start, I mean, there's other talented musicians that have started later in life. Maybe the biggest country artist right now, and Luke Combs, started a little bit later on. He wasn't, coming out the womb playing the guitar. But tell me about getting into doing shows in college and stuff like that. How you go from, borrowing, and I use air quotes, borrowing your roommate's guitar to using some student loan money to doing shows while you're in college.
So I didn't really catch what a lot of what you said, man. This internet here is lagging, and of course it could be me, so because I'm on my phone. But just a little bit more about, I guess you asked about my first show in college.
Yeah, doing shows in college. When you were in college, doing your first shows when you were in college still. Yep, you're all good, man.
I'm not picking it up, man. I'm sorry. But
you're all good, man.
Just a little bit more about.
Now we lost him. He's got that beat. It's that beach, man. It's that beach life. It's all good. We'll get Austin back on if he can make it happen. But very very cool stuff. What a guy, taking off. He's got vacation. He's next to the beach. Having a cigar, probably look like he was having a little adult beverage there, which all of a sudden sounds pretty good. But how cool to be able to take some time out to jump on the show and tell a story. It's weird. Everybody's story introduction to music is always different, and having that kind of that itch that hits you, and sometimes it doesn't hit you until you're in your early 20s. I'm sure when he was in college. And then you just pick it up and you're like, man, I kind of want to do this. And all of a sudden you go from learning how to play guitar to learning how to sing to playing shows and kicking ass, taking it, writing songs. I mean, it's a crazy transition that for some starts at a very young age. Some start, obviously there's successful bands, the kids that are still in their teens. We had Mariah Formica was on last week from Plush, and she just turned 20, and the other girls in Plush are still in their teens. Their drummer's like 16 years old. So you have just like so many different origin stories into how they find their way into music. And it reflects back to what I had Dr. J on yesterday, what Dr. J had said about even in starting business. It's like, it's never too late. Like if it's something that you want to do and you want to pursue and you want it to be a part of who you are as a person, or be a part of what it is in your life, like it's never too late. So you have people that start at a very young age. I think Mariah was doing voice training after she was like 11. And you got Austin, who is, doing the college thing, playing college ball, and then, guitar sounds kind of cool, and ends up doing that. So super cool story. And hopefully, and I don't want to say today was a total flop, but we'll get Austin back on too, and we'll get his internet connection rocking and rolling, and we'll have him back on to talk about his story and stuff. It's got to be challenging too. I mean, if I'm on a delay to him, he's hearing the question, I'm just sitting here like waiting, and then he's obviously delay getting it back, and if you miss any of the words, it's got to be tough. But we'll get him back on. Ain't no worries. I know where his person is. I know where his agent. I know his agent, and I'll give him a call and be like, hey, just get Austin back on. Fade, I do literally everything with it. That is untrue. That is untrue. We got to get you on the show, Fade. That's the thing, is we got to get you on the show, and then we got to do it in your special way, because it can't be weird. It's got to be weird. I think that's the caveat, is it has to be weird, and then we can do it. But I'm still waiting, man. Invitation's still open. You got your setup, you got your rig, you're all set to go. So we'll get you on the program sometime very, very soon. And we'll get Austin back on. We'll get Jason Charles Miller back on, and it'll be cool. It'll be fun. Good stuff. Tomorrow on the show, if you follow us on Patreon, if you're one of our patrons, as they call them, who subscribe and get the updates and get exclusive information and all the stuff. If you are a member, if you're not, the link is over in the comments, depending on where you're watching. Join up, because you would already know this. Coming up tomorrow on the program, it's going to be a good one. Going to be a great, insightful conversation with Derek Van Orden, retired Navy SEAL chief, author or actor. He was in Act of Valor, been in a couple other movies as well. Just ran for state senate last October. When was it? No, November, I think it was. It's in November. So he's going to be on the show tomorrow, which is pretty cool. So we'll talk to him. Retired Navy SEAL. Dude went through buds, man. Went through buds. That's my jam. See, we got Austin back on. Looks like he's moving around a little bit and trying to find some better.
Yeah.
Larry, look at this guy. Now we got you.
See if I can give you a view too.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna put that. I'm going full screen with that, man. Look at that. Love it, man. No, I think we.
Yeah, man.
I think we.
You got me.
Go ahead. Yep, got you.
No, you're good. Yeah, man, we're here till Thursday, so just trying to soak it all in. They went to a amusement park while I was doing this, so I got a little quiet time.
Nice. You gotta enjoy that when you got it. Tell me about Creek Fest this past weekend. Looks like that was had to feel good to get back out and jam in front of some live human beings.
Man, it was awesome. I was telling Angie Gregory, you said you were talking to them and the rest of Big Barn, Jeff Brown, and all of them. Everybody was down at Creek Fest. To be out on stage again, man, it was awesome. That's the first time I've been, on a stage that size, with a bigger size crowd like that in over a year. So it took a minute or two to get set in, get used to it again. But once we got rolling, man, the adrenaline started pumping, and there ain't nothing like it. There ain't nothing like it. We were in it for sure.
I was going to say, did it? I want to say feel like the first time, because the first time that you're on a stage obviously has a particular feel. But was it just a sense of relief? Like what was the feeling? Because I think you probably got to get through a song or two, right, to kind of kick the dust off. Like, oh yeah, this is how being able to move around the stage works a little bit. Like, what was the feeling being back out and in front of people again?
Yeah, it was. There were definitely some nerves. It's my band was fresh. I got a new set of guys, and I mean they're rockers for sure. I wasn't scared about that, but just getting settling in. And then we were one of the earlier sets too, so we didn't really have a sound check, but the sound guys did awesome, man. After the first song, we really got dialed in, and we just started rolling. I mean, it's like I said, it's a different kind of feeling, man, once you get up on stage and you got the crowd singing back to you, and that was really cool, man. And, I love doing acoustic shows. I was telling somebody this the other day. I love the big stage shows, but the acoustic shows, they're more of I feel like a personal experience. That a more one-on-one situation, but man, that adrenaline gets to popping. So once you get, 400 or 500 people plus singing songs back at you. So that it was definitely pretty cool.
How did you? It's been tough, I know, on all musicians during the past year, not having the ability to do what you just talked about, and that adrenaline, that experience, that rush that you get being on stage. What did you spend most of your time doing as far as the music portion of your life goes? Was it writing? Was it doing stuff on social media? Like what was 2020 into 21 like for Austin Bishop?
It was a learning experience for sure. I've been writing songs, for about 4 years now, 3 or 4 years, and I've got a lot to learn, and I've got a great circle that have invited me in. They've been in it for, I ain't gonna tell their age or nothing, but for a really long time, and they really helped me out to grow as an artist and as a writer, and that's one thing that I really tried to focus on was trying to find who I was as an artist in 2020, and I think that really helped my songwriting grow and the way I view music. I can't read music. Most of the stuff I learned playing guitar from YouTube videos. So, so I mean, I started. I'm still very green, but I tried to grow as a guitar player too. I started learning music theory. So, I mean, and a lot of people view 2020 as a bad time.
Mm.
And I mean, there's all kinds of shit going on. So you can you can make excuses, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's shows out there. I didn't quit playing shows. I
Yeah.
wasn't sitting there, playing huge stages or nothing. But if you want to, I mean, I play where anybody lets me come in. Be honest with you, man. I've been playing birthday parties, weddings, whatever, man. Anybody wants to hear comes. Yeah, anybody listening, y'all got a wedding or a party, y'all need to play. Holler at your boy, because we'll take care of it.
Call them up.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, just growing as an artist and as a person, man. I've started reading a lot more.
Mm.
Um, and that's one thing that I never really did in college or high school. I just skated by and
Mm.
played football and did what I did. But but yeah, just growing as a person, as an individual, and as an artist, man. And it's been I can see a change in not just my music but myself.
Mm.
And I think that's huge. Just growing up and becoming a man. So 2020 was a really great year for me. I know there's a lot of hard stuff that happened to a bunch of people, and God bless them. But 2020 was a great year for me. I mean, I miss being on stage. Don't get me
Mm.
wrong. And there were some things that I had lined up that fell through because of COVID. So that sucked. But at the same
Mm.
time, um, I'm a big Christian guy, and I believe everything happens for a reason, and God made all this happen. And I think for me, COVID happened to grow. So
Mm.
in a way, I'm kind of thankful because I could have went down roads, and I may not be talking to you right now. So you never know. You never know.
I think that takes to see the silver lining in a year like 2020, when when you look out and you do see the chaos, and you kind of see the division, and you see the kind of the craziness that was the year. But to be able to utilize that time productively to improve yourself, to improve your talent, to improve your art, I mean, it's great to have that kind of tap on the brakes that the year was for a lot of people. You kind of just tap the brakes, but you use that time to really expand your horizons. And do you feel like that is going to lead to really big things in 2021 and beyond, just because you had that time to grow and to improve and to kind of hone in on some of your skills?
You broke up a little bit right there. You said, "Do I feel like 2021 is going to
Do you
benefit
feel,
from having that time off?"
yeah, do you feel like your trajectory is going to go upward because you had the time to
Oh
really
yeah,
work on you? Yeah.
for sure, for sure. Like I said, I mean, just having this year, off, quote unquote, it was huge.
Hmm.
I feel like my songs are, a million times better. And like I like the way I wrote before. But being able to go on writers retreats with people that have been writing songs for 20 or 30 years, that have been in the industry, and like I said, blessed me with letting me just hang out. I went to one writers retreat and I had no clue what was about to happen. And I sat down with a couple of guys that have been writing songs for 20 or 30 years, and I pitched them one of the songs that I've been working on, and they loved it, and we tweaked it a little bit, and it showed me that kind of I did belong,
Hmm.
because as artists, you go, especially 2020, and it was real easy to do this, man. I feel like, but when you go, I mean, you go through dead periods, you go through slow times, and sometimes you feel like that you're not doing something right, or maybe I need to hang it up and go grab me a whistle, and go start coaching football and just enjoy being a teacher, but that I went on a writers retreat with the Wilson brothers, and there were like 20 other artists there, and man, that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. And all we were doing was chilling by the lake and writing songs and just fellowshipping, and it was cool to be able to, I guess, being so green, being welcomed in like that, and being shown love and appreciation for what I did. There, from where I'm from, there's probably uh, in my county, there's probably three, maybe four people that write their own songs and are really trying to do the music thing. And so I don't really get a lot of co-writes, a lot of co-writing time because, you know, I'm working a full-time job and I'm a family man. And so, so I don't really get to venture out, you know, on a Tuesday and go write with somebody. So
Right.
it was cool to be around professional writers and being able to mesh and actually work, not just sit there and watch, which is what I thought, you know, what I had planned to do, but
Mhm.
actually sit there and work. And I loved it, man. It was one, like I said, one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
That's awesome. And I love the being by the lake. I mean, that's got to be just an ideal place to write. I mean, tranquil, and you're kind of out amongst nature. And I mean, you guys, man, I'm picturing that around, like, there's a fire going, and then there's the
Oh
lake, and
yeah.
here's all these great writers just getting together and bouncing ideas off each other. That's I think that's how
No,
it
it
should
was
be
it
done.
was a it was a beautiful place on Lake Martin. It's called
Nice.
Pace Place.
Hmm.
I'm sure if you're friends with, you know, the Wilson brothers or, you know, the Big Barn folks, they post about Pace Place all the time. And that's the first time I'd ever been there, but it's right inside a cove.
Hmm.
And man, sunsets on there was awesome. 2 3 fire pits. I remember we got done writing. There was 2 writing sessions the day I got there, and after the first one, we took a lunch break, and which was about 30, 45 minutes, and then we broke into another group, and we had another session for about 2 3 hours, and then we had dinner. Then after dinner, we kind of came together and we shared some of our own music, but some of the songs that we wrote, you know, that day or that they had written the day before, and that was pretty cool. But then once we got done with that too, we all kind of sat around the campfire and hung out and really, you know, I remember one of my favorite parts of the whole thing was I love to sing. I do a mashup of "Will the Circle Be Unbroken" and
Hmm.
"I'll Fly Away," and I played at all my shows, and
Hmm.
I sang it. I sang with those guys, and just to hear everybody, you know, fellowshipping and jumping around and having a good time, man, that was pretty cool. But shoot, we actually got the cops called on us at about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning because we were singing "I'll Fly Away" at the top of our lungs, and somebody across the lake had heard us and called the cops.
See, that's the kind of experiences that you need to have in life. Like, we are just doing fellowship. We're just singing, you know,
That's what I'm
around the
saying.
fire, and
Mm-hmm.
here comes Johnny Law down the road.
That's what that's what we told the police officer. Man, we can't sing about Jesus. He's like, not at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't.
Like, wait, I don't. Is there a time limit? Like, when is it open? Like, when is the when is it
Right.
open for singing, man? So
Must have had a noise
having it.
ordinance or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure after 2:30, you know, you gotta start whispering.
Well,
Apparently.
we should have probably been in the bed anyway, but we weren't. So,
Yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. I understand.
oh yeah.
So having a year to write and to have these kind of experiences, what does music look like for you in 2021? I see you got some dates on the calendar to get out and get back and doing some more shows and things like that. If anybody needs a somebody to sing at their wedding, Austin Bishop music on Facebook, get a hold of him or get a hold of Angie Gregory. But what are you looking at for 2021 as far as is there some new songs going to come out? Like, what is your plan as far as the year goes?
Well, that was kind of going back into 2020. You know, I've got like 10 or 11 songs out now, and I love them, but I wanted to really concentrate on my writing for the past year, and maybe for the next 3 or 4 months at least. I've got 4 or 5 songs that I would probably like to cut. I'm going to try to work with some folks and see if I can't get some new music out. But at the same time, I'm not going to settle. So
Right.
if it's not absolutely, you know, what I want, then I'm not going to put it out. Um, so we'll see. The shows are picking up for sure. I'm hoping and things, you know, all this the crazy's not over, but you know, I think everybody's getting fed up with the shit, and they're just saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, let's go." So,
Yeah.
hopefully, some bigger gigs are coming on. Man, I'm still doing, you know, acoustic stuff like that. My lead guitarist goes around with me, and we'll play acoustic sets at, you know, restaurants, bars, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, but we're staying pretty booked up, but I'm hoping the festivals and everything start to happen
Yeah.
so we can really start diving into to the bigger audiences. Because man, I like meeting new people. When we got done playing Creek Fest the other day, and my wife can tell you this, when I got done playing Creek Fest, I walked off stage, and I had to wait 2.5 hours to go pee because I didn't stop talking to people, and I love it, man. I like, and it's not because I had to talk to people, it's because I wanted to. Anybody that comes up to my merch table when I'm there, man, I'll have a conversation. I want to know where you're from, what you do, why you love music, why you're here, why you listen to me, why you paying $20 for my hat and T-shirt, But I love meeting new people, and
Right.
it cracks my grandmama up because she says I'm just like my granddaddy, because my granddaddy didn't know a stranger. He'd go up,
He
he'll
loved
go up and
everybody.
talk. Man, he did. He'd go up and talk to George at the gas station, put him in gas. Like, man, these gas pumps are moving pretty slow today, ain't they? And he'll talk 20 minutes. Some dude he's never even met in his life. And I'm the same way. I love meeting new people and experience and fellowship, because listen, man, music has saved my life, no doubt. And not me playing music, but listening to music, just music in general. I don't just listen to country, man. I listen to rock. I grew up on AC/DC, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, all that stuff, man. And then my grandmama listened to Patsy Cline and Elvis and the Gaithers and gospel music. And I grew up in high school. I would listen to rap and everything. So, and today I still do. So I love all genres of music. It's just depending on what mood I'm in. But there's been some dark times in my life that music's really helped me through, and I appreciate that. And that's what I try to put into a lot of my songs, man. I write about some of the experiences that I have had in my life, and just hoping that somebody out there hears it that may be going through some of the things that I did. My early childhood was pretty rough, and I went through some things that I wouldn't put on nobody, but at the same time, I don't dwell on them, because that made me who I was.
Right.
And I want people to know that no matter how bad it is, you can do it, because I'm trying to do it. There's a reason I'm on your podcast today,
Yeah.
when I should probably be, statistically speaking, I should probably be in jail or 6 feet under.
Right.
So there's just, God's good, man. God's good, and if we don't appreciate the rain, we'll never appreciate the sunshine. And that's the way I try to look at every day. We're worried about the weather here at the beach. Last week, it was supposed to be sunny and 75 all week, but then 3 days before we left, it's gonna rain all week. And past 2 days, man, we've had really good weather. It's been kind of overcast, but the sun's been shining, and my feet even got a little sunburnt, but I put suntan lotion on this old bald head, so we have to worry about that. But man, you gotta learn and grow from experience. That's just life. I had a tough childhood, up until the point, my grandparents took me in and started raising me. I was very blessed. God was good to me by having them take me and make me who I am. But man, just being a special education teacher and seeing some of the stuff these kids go through, golly, man, it tears you up, and it makes you very grateful for the things that you have, because there's somebody out there that's got it worse than you. And if you can, and it cracks me up, because these people are talking about, they got it so bad, and they just, they don't get the breaks, but they're walking around with a $600 iPhone in their pocket.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
there's a kid in my classroom that can't afford a pair of socks. So I'm blessed, man. I'm very blessed, and I'm very thankful for the people that have helped me out. I didn't do it alone. I work my ass off. Don't get me wrong, but I think anybody that has some kind of success, they've had help some way, form, or the other. And like I said, man, every day's a new challenge, but every day is a blessing, because that day could be your last one. And somebody's always got it worse, so just be thankful for what you got.
No, man, I think that gratitude is something that I can feel pouring through the screen in talking to you, that you have so much gratitude. I think that even goes back to when you talked about talking to everybody, waiting 2.5 hours to go pee because you wanted to have those moments talking to people, because you do have gratitude for those who watched you play, watched you perform your art, and then bought a T-shirt, bought a hat, supported your career. I did radio for over 20 years. Met a ton of artists from all different genres, all different walks of life, and I always would say the ones that I saw at the merch booth that weren't just there or signing something and then kind of took the picture and pushed you out of the way. The ones that were actually having conversations with their fans, or growing their fan base, one person at a time.
Yeah.
Those artists to me always felt more real, more tangible, more approachable. And I think that reflects onto not just those moments on after the show or before the show, but during the show, because all of a sudden you have this connection, not just with the music, but you have this like, hey, that guy took, he just got done doing a set, walked off the stage, walked over to the table, and took time out to have a conversation, asked me what I did for a living. Like, that dude cares. Now that person is probably going to follow your show. They're going to share your show. You're going to release a song, and they're going to share that song. I mean, it's all this old school, but yet new school, organic building of sharing your music with people, because people get touched by that. People want to know that they're not just paying their money to walk in to see somebody that's you have to stay away from, and then after the show you don't see him. They want to be like, well, yeah, Austin Bishop, I remember I met him at Talladega, and we sat there, we talked for 5 minutes. It looked like he had to pee, but he was like he was super nice about
he had to
everything.
Pee, and he was hungry. And
the man wanted a sandwich. But you taking the time out, I mean, that goes to show gratitude, which goes on to all the other points you talked about, is being super grateful for everybody that's been there for you and that continues to be there for you along the way, for the hard work, for sunny days on the beach when you have a chance to enjoy it, for suntan lotion, for all the things. I mean, just showing gratitude is really, like I've always said, it's the key. Waking up and saying, "Whew, thank you. I'm glad that I made it."
Got another one. Yep, got another one.
Let's try not to screw this one up. We're gonna make this one the best we can be. But no, man, gratitude is super huge, and I can feel that coming from you and from your music, and even just talking to you right now, that you're super thankful for all that you have and all that's coming, and to be super focused during COVID and during all the BS and all that stuff, but to be like, hey, during this time, I'm just going to make myself better. I'm going to pick up some books. I'm going to read some stuff, and I'm going to go on writer sessions, and I'm going to become a better human and a better artist. I mean, dude, super love what you got going on, man. Super love it.
I appreciate it, brother. I'm a firm believer that good things happen to good people, and I'm not great, but I try every day, to be the best person I can be, and to love the guy next to me like a brother. And like I said, man, I've been blessed. But going back to the show thing, man, it somebody that pays $20 for a shirt, because let me tell you something, I have a hard time paying $20 for a shirt.
Yeah.
And if they'll pay $20 for my shirt or my hat, then either A, they really liked my music and they're trying to support me, or B, they think that's a really cool looking shirt and it's got my name on it. So, and they're spending their hard-earned money on me. That's the thing. Even if they don't buy my shirt, just buying a ticket. And I did my own concert back in 2019. We threw down in a cow pasture.
Nice.
We set up a stage, and got lights and sound out there, and we had about I think there was a little over 600 people there, and they paid for that ticket to come see me. And they could have done anything else on a Saturday they wanted to. They could have spent that $20 on anything else, but they spent that $20 on a ticket to come to my concert. And man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You've got to appreciate that. And it, like you said, it's crazy to me that there are some artists that won't even go to their merch table. They won't that won't speak to fans. And man, don't get me wrong. Now there are times, and I somewhat get it, because there are some weird people out there, but it does get tiring because there are so many people, and I find myself sometimes getting messages from people, and it taking me 3 days to a week to message back, just because I'm not saying I'm getting bombarded with fan mail or anything, but it's hard. And somebody that's on like a Chris Stapleton or something like that, it's damn near impossible to get with everybody. But a show, 15, 20 minutes on top of people paying for like VIP passes and stuff like that, you can give 20 minutes to somebody come, because they come to see you, man. And just me personally, it means a lot to me. It does. So I'll get off my soapbox.
No, I think you're right. I think there is even at any level, I think you still have to have that gratitude. I think when you lose sight of it, I don't say things can tend to go awry, but if you're like, but it's, I got to go and do a show today. Like if you get to that point, like maybe it's time for a career change. Like appreciate the fact that you still get up to go and play music every day, and the fans that are there buying tickets, getting the VIP passes, joining the fan club, all the stuff there. Again, you said hard-earned money that these people are giving it to you to support your lifestyle and your life. Like, go, hey, thanks. I really appreciate that, because otherwise I'd be I'm cleaning tables somewhere.
For sure. No, man. When I did that, the light bulb clicked off. I watched. Dude, you had who was it? Sean Whalen.
Sean Whalen, yeah, Lions Not Sheep.
That's badass on your podcast, dude. Man. That's a badass dude. That was a really cool podcast. I really enjoyed that one, for sure. Yeah. When I seen that, I was like, okay, all right. Well, I'm stepping up in the world then. I'm getting on in there.
But dude, that's the same thing I thought when he agreed to it. I was like, oh, really?
Stop it. I'm just a dude from Northeast Alabama, man. I ain't
Piedmont, Alabama's finest, man. Come on now. No, but the Sean Whalen there is a guy, and I talked to him about this same thing. We talked about gratitude. It was like, as hard as he works and as much as he's attained in life, like he still gets up every day and goes, no, I'm pretty thankful. I'm pretty thankful that I'm here and that I do all the things. If you're looking for a great read, I just started reading his book, How to Make Shit Happen. Go get yourself. It's a fantastic book. About a quarter of the way through, and great points on there. But it all goes back to gratitude. Even guys that are, here's a dude that I just was like, hey, I love what your message is, and I would love to talk to you about it. And he was like, cool, let me know when. I'm like, oh shit, really? Okay, I guess we'll chat. That'd be cool. But
for sure.
It was a great chat with him and with you too, man. I think that there's when you can feel the gratitude for what you've been blessed with, to be able to, be in college and borrow your roommate's guitar and borrow some of that student loan money to get your. It's stories like that are like wow, that's the origin story. That's where it began, and then to see where it is now, and I can't wait to see where it's going to be at the end of this year and in the future, man. I appreciate the time and taking a break from your vacation to jump on here and chat. Yeah, bro.
One more thing. I noticed that you have a mighty nice beard hanging from that chin. That is a good looking beard. Mine used to be a little bit longer, but my wife told me I had to cut it down, so I trimmed it up a little bit. But it did get thicker. So do you have your own beard products? Did I hear you talking to somebody about? Really?
Yeah. Captain Coop's Beard Company. I'll shoot you an email and I'll get you some stuff sent out, man. Captain Coop's is.
I'm always looking for some new fertilizer for this bad boy.
Yeah, that's the jam. I actually just got this one, this trimmed up. It was like I did like 4 inches off, man. It got to be like, Dang. And I'm 6 foot, but I'm kind of a slender guy. It just looked like a couple of eyes and just like cousin It reverse, And my girlfriend's like, we need to just have a little separation of church and state here. Just like we need to know where the church starts. But yeah, man, I'll send you some stuff. Captain Coops, we'll get you all set up, brother.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I really do.
No, Austin, man, I appreciate you taking some time out. Go enjoy the rest of your vacation and best of luck. We'll get you back on here sometime soon, though, my friend.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
Awesome, man. Take care of yourself.
Yep.
There you go. Austin Bishop on the show. See, you got that. Going to send him some Captain Coops. It's that Captain Coop stuff right there. Thanks, Joe. See, patience, you know, it was like yesterday. I don't know, maybe it's just a weird week. Maybe it's the full moon. I don't know. But yesterday, you know, like Bill was late. And I'm like, oh, well, we're going to be done. And boom, he popped up. And then, you know, Austin having some problems with the internet connection, the Wi-Fi. And then I was like, oh, well, and boom. And then he was good to go for the last half hour. So that's where patience pays off, my friends. As I was saying, coming up on tomorrow's show, super excited for Derek Van Orden. 26 years in the Navy SEAL, retired Navy SEAL chief, actor in Act of Valor, ran for state Senate here in Wisconsin back in 2020. He is going to be on. He is still out hard and heavy on the pavement, on the political scene, and helping getting the word out and doing a lot of speeches. And I'm just so stoked to talk to him, not only about his Navy SEAL career, and I want to talk about buds because that shit just fascinates me. I was listening to Marcus Luttrell, Navy SEAL as well. His story was on with Joe Rogan today, that podcast. I was checking that out. So got me all jacked up again to talk to Derek Van Orden. That's coming up tomorrow, 5:10 p.m. right here. If you're subscribed, hit the notification bell. Because then when we do go live, you get the notification and you can be a part of what we got going on tomorrow with Derek Van Orden on the show. Thank you to Austin Bishop for the time today. Thank you for staying tuned in and commenting and being part of the show. Always appreciate it. We'll do it again tomorrow. Until then, we will take care of yourself.